It's time for a Drum Talk TV Music Industry News Desk Report.
Strap yourself in for where prohibited batteries not included, not available. State of shock.
Hi everyone, happy Friday. This is Shylee Graf coming to you with a news desk report. Today I have guest drummer Ken Mary. Ken, what's going on with you?
Well, I'm excited to be here today, and I'm heading out next week for a month-long European tour with Flotsam and Jetsam. We're playing all the big festivals over there like Bloodstock and Alcatraz, and it's been a while since we've seen our European friends over the pond, so we're very excited about it, and should be fun.
Well, thank you for that introduction. That does sound like a really exciting month coming up. And today, in honor of Ken being here, we've created the Ken Mary discount code for Drum Talk TV Brilliance membership site, which will give you 6 months of the premium level membership for free. Just go to www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com and select the premium sign-up option. Then use the code, all caps in one word, DTTVB KenFree6 at checkout. Premium members get access to our past Q&As and virtual concerts. We've had Rudy Sarzo, Oliver Wakeman, and McStein and Miniman, just to name a few. And on August 21st and 28th, respectively, we have an online fan Q&A scheduled with drummers Russell Gilbrook of Uriah Heep and Peter Erskine of Weather Report and Steps Ahead, both at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern U.S. times. Again, that code is DTTVB KenFree6, and it expires on Sunday, August 10th, 11:59 Pacific U.S. time, p.m. All right.
Now it's time for
So, Ken, I have an icebreaker for you today. You have played on a lot of albums and in a lot of different genres of music, if I understand it correctly. So is there a specific genre of music that you prefer to play on?
Well, I guess probably most people know me as a rock or metal player, but I really do love all kinds of music. When I was growing up, my drum teacher was teaching me jazz and fusion and Latin, like a lot of different styles. So I have actually a really good background in jazz and fusion and Latin, but I'd say probably most people know me for my work in the rock and metal music industry. I've been a session musician, a touring musician, an engineer and producer. I've worked with some of the biggest and most iconic record producers of all time, including guys like Andy Johns, who worked with Led Zeppelin and Van Halen, Mac, who worked with Queen, Michael Wagner, who worked with Ozzy Osbourne and Metallica, Terry Brown of Rush fame, and a ton more. So I used to do a tremendous amount of session work. As far as like live touring, I've done that all my life as well. And that includes artists like Flotsam and Jetsam, Alice Cooper, House of Lords, Accept. I've done recordings with also iconic acts like the Beach Boys, Gene Simmons from Kiss, Don Dock and Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater, Great White and Pelletier, and a whole bunch more. So yeah, I've been around for a while. And then there's one interesting fact that most people don't know. I was actually on 3 episodes of the television show Full House as a member of Jesse and the Rippers band. So, and the reason I say that is Full House was the #1 television show in the United States at the time. And ironically, probably more people saw me on that show than anything else I've ever done.
Wow, that is a really fun fact. I actually grew up loving Full House, so that's a really interesting that, I've seen you before from watching that show, and I didn't even know it. So
Yeah, I was a member of
awesome.
Jesse and the Rippers. So, they say once a Ripper, always a Ripper.
Very exciting. That is very cool. For my own answer, I am an amateur singer. I did choir throughout middle and high school. I'm currently in an a cappella group at college. And, some of my favorite type of songs to sing are a cappella, usually in the pop genre. But I remember I had a lot of fun with doing Christmas music a cappella as well in high school. and doing some of the older pop songs from the 60s and 70s as women's pieces. That was always really fun, and I always had the best time learning those songs.
It's time for This Day in Music History. Why not the whole week? Because we'd be here forever.
All right, today, August 1st, we're going back to 2020. Taylor Swift's 8th studio album, Folklore, was at #1 on the UK album chart. This surprise album came after she canceled her Lover tour that year due to the pandemic, and she wrote it during quarantine. It broke the record for biggest opening day on Spotify by an album by a female act. The single Exile, featuring Bon Iver, reached the top 10 on music charts in 8 countries and became Swift's 6th #1 single on the US Billboard Hot 100.
Also on this day, August 1st, 2015, Rush performed their final concert at the Los Angeles Forum. This was at the end of their R40 tour, which provided a retrospect on the entire band's career. The lineup of Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Neil Peart had been together for 4 decades. So all of us drummers that loved Rush, that was a sad day.
Very sad indeed. In 2007, Prince kicked off a series of 21 sold-out shows at London's O2 Arena. Tickets for the event cost £31.21, which was the same figure that Prince used to name the album 3121 and his website and perfume. Very interesting that at that time you could get concert tickets for only £31.
Well, that's actually still quite a bit of money in today's, I think that's probably around $40 today. So yes, definitely a lot less than it is now. So also in 2007, August 1st, John Lennon's granny sunglasses were snagged by a British collector at an auction. Sunglasses were from one of the last Beatles concerts, and they were expected to get around £1 million. The auction bosses refused to say what the actual figure was, and Lennon gave the gold-rimmed glasses to his Japanese interpreter in Tokyo in 1966. And the interpreter removed the lenses after John Lennon's death in 1980.
Very interesting. Some very expensive sunglasses there. In 1998, the Spice Girls scored their 7th UK #1 single with Viva Forever. The song was originally set to be released with the track Never Give Up on the Good Times as a double A-side, but it was pulled after Jerry Halliwell left the group.
In 1987, actually, I was in Europe quite a bit in 1987. MTV Europe was launched, and the first video played was Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, and it contained the appropriate line, I want my MTV, which everybody of that era remembers. The music video features early 3D computer animation illustrating the lyrics and was one of the first uses of computer animated human characters, which was a huge breakthrough at the time of its release in June of 1985.
That is really interesting that they used early 3D computer animation that early. And for a music video, no less. That's really exciting.
It is. I mean, it was really, for its time, it was quite groundbreaking. I mean, we look at it now and it looks obviously a little bit funny these days, but back when it was released, it was very impressive.
Yeah. In 1981, Australian singer Rick Springfield started a 2-week run at #1 on the US singles chart with Jessie's Girl, which later won him Best Male Rock Vocal Performance at the Grammys. This is also the day that MTV launched in the US, so exactly 6 years before it launched in Europe.
Indeed. Also, August 1st, 1980, Def Leppard made their debut live performance in the US at a New York City concert opening for AC/DC, of all bands. It was also singer Joe Elliott's 21st birthday. And so anybody that was around that era, I think some of the other guys were as young as 17 or 18 at that time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, young band, I think. And of course, the 21st birthday in America is a very big deal. So very exciting. In 1971, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour aired on primetime American television. The duo had stopped producing hit singles, so they took to traveling around the country singing and telling jokes in nightclubs. CBS head of programming, Fred Silverman, saw them and offered them a show. Musical guests who appeared on the show included Glenn Campbell, Jackson 5, The Supremes, and Chuck Berry.
Wow, Chuck Berry. So also, August 1st, 1964, the Beatles scored their 5th U.S. #1 single in 7 months with A Hard Day's Night. The band had now spent 17 weeks at the #1 position that year. Additionally, Billboard magazine had reported that day that the harmonica was making a comeback in a big way, thanks to the Beatles, as well as Bob Dylan, Stevie Wonder, and the Rolling Stones.
Very exciting stuff. And David Neighbor is saying, I remember you joining with Nicky Hopkins that day at the Naval Air Show. All the best. What a warbird demo that was.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that, Shylee.
Awesome. No worries. There was a comment on Facebook that from David Neighbor saying, I remember you joining with Nicky Hopkins that day at the Naval Air Show. All the best. What a warbird demo that was.
I think he means jamming, I think. I'm not sure.
Jamming, yes.
But wow, that's awesome. He remembers that. I don't.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. That's okay. There's a lot of my career I don't remember.
Well, thank you, David, for picking up. Yes.
At Drum Talk TV. Yeah.
All right, we have the Drum Talk TV Brilliance Ambassadors Program. Premium members can refer people with a code for them to use at sign up, and your reward is $10 per sign up. Here's Dan to explain it.
Hey everybody, Dan here from Drum Talk TV and Drum Talk TV Brilliance. Hey, how would you like to make bank by being a premium member of Drum Talk TV Brilliance? It's easy. Like, you're a music fan, right? That's why you joined. How many other music fans do you know, right? So what if they got a discount for joining if you referred them and you got $10 for each one you refer? I mean, you'd pretty much have to be a doofus like this to miss out on something like that, right? Because being fellow music fans, we all know fellow music fans. So go ahead, invite your friends with your own code. We'll tell you how in a minute. But that way you can enjoy things like our live stream concerts, our fan Q&As with big artists, producers, and record executives, our twice-a-month game shows, and other fun things in Drum Talk TV Brilliance with your friends while giving them a discounted invitation, and you make bank. So there you go. So follow the link in this post. If you're not already a premium member, become a premium member. And if you are a premium member, you'll get an email real soon to show how to get your own invite code where you can tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. Tell 20 friends. That's $200. Wait, what? You'd have to be like this to miss out on that. You're not like that, are you? Invite your friends. Let's have some fun together. Healthy escapism away from the nonsense and the drama and the craziness online on social. Join us, Drum Talk TV Brilliance. We're here for the fun of it. Oh, and at any time, you can become a premium member, refer your friends, and make some bank.
Wow, that is awesome. And new this month at Drum Talk TV, we have the Ginger Baker Tribute Drumming Challenge running through August 31st. Play along to tracks featuring him from any era of his long music career. And here's a video with the details.
Drum Talk TV Brilliance presents the Ginger Baker Tribute Drumming Challenge running until August 31st, 2025, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time. For his birth month, play along to tracks featuring the legendary drummer. First, second, and third place winners can win a gift certificate to their favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt. Shirts only ship in the US. And first place will have the chance to be interviewed live on Drum Talk TV. As per our rules, the tracks you play along to must be the officially released versions. No need to worry about them getting taken off our platform. Whether they be from Cream, Ginger Baker's Air Force, his solo work, Hawkwind, pretty much any official track he's played on. Record your videos horizontally. Once done, submit in our membership site. Free members can send in 2 videos. Higher level members can send however many they want. Your videos will be reviewed and graded on accuracy, sound, and fan praise. For the fan praise factor, invite people to comment the word vote under each video they like. The judging criteria is explained further on the submissions page. Go to www.drumtalktvbrilliance.com and join the fun.
We also are extending the deadlines for our July challenges. So we still have the Joey Jordison and the Start It Up challenges up. They're due now on August 31st at 11:59 Pacific. Here's a video about the Joey Jordison challenge.
Drum Talk TV Brilliance presents the Joey Jordison Tribute Drumming Challenge. Submissions window now extended through August 31st, 2025, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time. Play along to tracks featuring the legendary Slipknot drummer, whether they be from that band, Scar the Martyr, Murder Dolls, many possibilities. First, second, and third place winners can win a gift certificate to their favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt. Shirts only ship in the US. And first place will have the chance to be interviewed live on Drum Talk TV. The tracks you play along to must be the officially released versions. They will not get muted or pulled from a platform. Record your videos horizontally. Once done, submit in our membership site, which has a free tier and a premium tier. Free members can send in 2 videos. Premium members can send in however many they want. Your videos will be reviewed and graded on accuracy, fan praise, and sound. For the fan praise factor, invite people to comment the word vote under each video they like. The judging criteria is explained further on the submissions page. Go to drumtalktvbrilliance.com and join the fun.
We also have the Start It Up challenge for instrumentalists of all kinds, not just drummers. Play an ostinato with your instrument to mimic a motor starting up. Here's Dan with some examples.
Now extended through August 31st, 2025, 11:59 p.m. Pacific US time. Join the Start It Up challenge at drumtalktvbrilliance.com for a chance to win prizes. This is not just for drummers. Pretend you're starting a motor and then play some sort of ostinato on your instrument. If you submit a video like this, or like this, you could win a first, second, or third place gift certificate to a favorite music store, as well as a free Drum Talk TV shirt, only shipping in the US. First place can also have a Drum Talk TV interview. Judging criteria will be based on the following: 50% creativity, 30% playing skills, and 20% fan praise. Invite people to comment the word vote under your video. To get in on the challenge, you can be a free member of Drum Talk TV Brilliance and submit up to 2 videos, or become a premium member and submit as many as you'd like. So join the fun and show us what you've got.
All right, and also join us for the next game show on Tuesday, August 5th, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The theme will be 60s, 70s, and 80s rock bands with horns. Visit drumtalktvbrilliance.com, go to the calendar, and RSVP to the event so the Zoom link will be sent directly to you.
And last Friday, Dan hosted another episode of Drumming Injury Talk with Dr. Janice Ying, discussing shoulder pains and lower back pain. And if you're a drummer, chances are you might have had one of those injuries. So it's an awesome thing to check out.
Yes, definitely go find that video on YouTube with Dan and Dr. Janice. That is, she's very helpful with her tips. Looking ahead to next week, Dan will interview Jason Christ, founder of Bring the Beat Back and of Jack's Drum Shack. on Wednesday, August 6th at 6 p.m. Pacific. And on Thursday, August 7th, noon Pacific, John Perez, drummer of Texas-based Yes tribute band Close to Yes, will be interviewed by Dan and Steven on Yes Shift. You can also find Dan and Steven's contributions in a video that premiered today from Miguel Bass titled Play for Chris 11, in which various people pay tribute to the late Chris Squire, who passed away in 2015.
And now a moment to acknowledge those who have passed.
Paul Mario Day, former frontman of Iron Maiden, passed away on Tuesday, July 29th. Billboard reported that he played with the band for 10 months before exiting, following claims that he, quote, lacked energy and charisma. He later recalled that at the time of his tenure, the group was a new pub band and nobody wanted to see or hear them. He went on to front groups More and Wildfire before joining reformed English glam rockers Sweet as the lead vocalist. Day relocated to Australia in the 1980s and lived there as an active musician until his passing. He was 69 years old.
Tom Lehrer, song satirist and Harvard math prodigy, passed away last Saturday at the age of 97. A longtime friend of Lehrer announced the news this week, stating that he passed away in his Cambridge, Massachusetts home, but did not cite a cause. His songs focused largely on marriage, politics, racism, and the Cold War before he abandoned his music career to return to teaching math at Harvard and other universities. He continued his teaching career at the University of California in Santa Cruz well into his 70s, and in 2020, he even turned away his own copyright, allowing people to use his music with no fee. He was often likened to musicians like Alan Sherman and Stan Freberg for his comic riffs, and other musical comedians like Randy Newman and, of course, Weird Al Yankovic cite him among their influences.
Also this week, Cleo Lane, British jazz singer and accomplished theater actor, passed away late last week. USA Today reported that her children made the announcement on July 25th, stating, quote, "It is with deepest sadness that we announce the passing of our dearly beloved mother, Cleo, who died peacefully yesterday afternoon." Born Clementine Hitching and later Campbell, the Dankworth 7 band, which she joined at age 24, thought her name was too cumbersome, so they drew Cleo and Lane out of a hat. She eventually went on to play with greats like Frank Sinatra and Ray Charles, and she won a Grammy for the recording of her performance at Carnegie Hall in the early 1970s. She also acted on London's West End and on Broadway. She was also 97 years old.
Now let's see what's been going on this week in the music industry.
Well, Shylee, I'm glad to hear this next news. Last week, tabloids falsely reported that Phil Collins was in hospice care. So this week, a spokesperson set the record straight. According to Vulture, the former drummer and lead singer of Genesis is in the hospital recovering from knee surgery. The spokesman clarified. Collins' health has been declining since the last Genesis concert in 2022, and since then he's stayed out of the spotlight. In February, he gave a short interview with Mojo magazine where he talked briefly about his health, saying, "I keep thinking I should go downstairs to the studio and see what happens, but I'm just not hungry for it anymore. The thing is, I've been sick, and I mean very sick." He struggles with dislocated vertebrae and nerve damage, which have prevented him from playing drums for a long time. That does not sound fun. He also said he'd rather relax and not do anything than try to make music again. Collins added, "I've spent all my life playing drums. To suddenly not be able to do that is a shock."
It's a shock indeed. I can imagine, it's good to hear that he's not on hospice care and that he's just recovering from knee surgery. We
Absolutely.
wish him a speedy and fast recovery as well.
We do indeed.
Nico McBrain, drummer of Iron Maiden, returned to the stage earlier this month with his Iron Maiden cover band Titanium Tart, making his first public appearance since his retirement from touring late last year. According to Metal Stop, the setlist was at the concert in Sebastian, Florida, included 2 songs that had never been played live before. This marked the first time a member of Iron Maiden had played tracks from their album Senjutsu, specifically The Parchment and Darkest Hour. The group played for an hour and 40 minutes, opening with The Number of the Beast and playing less frequently performed hits and deep cuts. Very exciting news coming out of Florida for them.
Absolutely. Drum Talk TV covered Ozzy's passing extensively last week. And now the late and great icon has been laid to rest in his hometown of Birmingham, England. Billboard reported that fans crowded the streets of the Midland city as a hearse carrying the body left Villa Park and drove through the city center. A purple floral tribute reading Ozzy adorned his coffin, and the hearse supported a purple flower crucifix. The hearse passed over the Black Sabbath Bridge, first opened in 2019, where fans had left flowers and tributes. The Osbourne family, including Ozzy's wife Sharon and 3 kids, Amy, Kelly, and Jack, stopped to view the tributes. A local music group, Boston Brass, played several covers, including Iron Man and Crazy Train, and the whole procession was live streamed online so fans across the world could witness and take part in honoring the Prince of Darkness. I actually have some Ozzy stories myself, but we'll get into that another time. But we did a show with Ozzy, Metal Hammer Festival in Germany, and it was quite a time. That was with I think it was 1988, and a great show I remember, and a great experience. And that was the first time I met Ozzy personally.
That's a really great story. And, you know, the tributes have continued to pour in this week. I've seen countless articles about this musician and that musician sending their condolences to the Osbourne family and sharing their memories with Ozzy. So it's definitely a hard time for a lot of music fans this week. Sure.
There's been some that actually contacted me and, expressing their grief. And I think the thing that was really amazing about Ozzy is that he seemed like a real person, like his struggles were often public, and, everybody knew to some degree what was going on with him, which, a lot of people identified with. And he was just a lovable, great guy. He never seemed to have an ego or attitude. And I think he loved his fans, and I think his fans really loved him.
Yes. Very, very sad to hear about his passing last week. So, all right. My Chemical Romance gave LA fans a taste of what could have been when they played the unreleased track War Beneath the Rain at their recent Dodger Stadium concert. According to Billboard, this was the first time the track had been added to the set list. Frontman Gerard Way said, quote, "I don't know how long ago it was, but before the band broke up, we had a studio in North Hollywood, and we were making a record that never came out. And this was one of the songs we really loved from it." He dedicated the song to friend Doug McKeon's family, who were at the show. McKeon passed away a couple of years ago. McKeon was in the studio with the band when they recorded this unreleased album. At the time of the band's initial 2013 breakup, they had been working on a concept album titled The Paper Kingdom. Only one other track from the project has been released, with Fake Your Death appearing in their 2014 compilation album May Death Never Stop You. The group is currently embarking on their Long Live the Black Parade tour, with the North American leg ending in September and a South American leg beginning in January of 2026.
Also, rockabilly icon Stray Cats will play their first shows in over a year this fall, announcing the first tour since guitarist Brian Setzer was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. Billboard reported that Setzer first revealed the news of his diagnosis in February, saying that once last summer's tour ended, he began experiencing hand cramping and a diminished ability to play guitar. He shared on social media at that time, "There's no pain, but it feels like I'm wearing a pair of gloves when I try to play." He also explained that he once hit a point where he couldn't hold a pen or tie his shoes. But with help from his medical professionals at the Mayo Clinic, he's making excellent progress, and it appears he has reached a point now where taking the stage again is possible. The group announced a 31-date North American tour for October and November, kicking off in Mount Pleasant, Michigan on October 25th and wrapping up in Wheatland, California on November 23rd.
Very exciting news for Stray Cats fans. We're very glad that Brian Setzer is doing better with his diagnosis. And as of 8 p.m. Eastern Time on July 31st, Chappell Roan's long-awaited single, The Subway, is no longer underground. Billboard reported that earlier this week, Roan posted a photo of herself buried in tresses upon tresses of her iconic red hair, simply writing, The Subway out, July 31st, 8 p.m. EST. Just weeks ago, fans spotted the artist filming an apparent music video for the song, and photos from the shoot resembled the cover art of the new track. This announcement has been a long time coming, as the singer first performed The Subway at the Gov Ball last year. She has since played the, quote, New York City-themed Heartbreak Anthem at many shows. It seems it may be a while before we see her 2023 album followed up with an LP, as the singer announced a handful of pop-up shows in New York, Kansas City, and Pasadena, noting that she, quote, wanted the chance to do something special before going away to write the next album. Very exciting.
That is indeed. What's that?
Not had a chance to listen to the new single, to listen to it.
I haven't heard. Also in news, the Foo Fighters officially welcomed their new drummer this week, which is very interesting to all us drummers. 3 years after the tragic death of Taylor Hawkins, Parade reported that Ilan Rubin is stepping into the role, being a well-known figure in the rock world. He's toured with Nine Inch Nails since 2009, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2020 with the band, the youngest inductee ever at the age of 32. He has also played for Angels and Airwaves. The news comes just 2 months after Josh Freese exited from the group, who stepped into the role in 2023 following Hawkins' passing. The band had decided to go in a different direction with their drummer, according to Freese's Instagram announcement in May. He will be rejoining Nine Inch Nails, as he served as their live drummer from 2005 to 2008. It's unclear if Rubin will be joining the Foo Fighters permanently or just on a tour basis. The band kicks off an international tour on October 2nd in Jakarta, Indonesia.
Seems like those two bands are kind of switching around their drummers, so that's exciting news.
They are. It's sort of like the NFL, you
Yes.
just get a new jersey and move on to the next team.
Yeah, something like that. Yesterday, we received the press release announcing that Yes guitarist Steve Howe's solo albums, Portraits of Bob Dylan and Natural Timbre from 1999 and 2001 respectively, will be reissued September 12th, not just on CD, but also on vinyl for the first time. Portraits of Bob Dylan features intriguing collaborations with guest vocalists, including John Anderson from Yes, Max Bacon from GTR, Alan Clark from the Hollies, P.P. Arnold, Annie Haslam from Renaissance, Keith West from Tomorrow, and Phoebe Snow, along with extra special guest Dylan Howe on drums, bringing a whole fresh approach to Dylan's classics. Natural Timbre, which also featured Dylan Howe on drums, had an acoustic setting with an array of instruments, including acoustic guitar, banjo, mandolin, dobro, lap steel guitar, mandocello, and koto across a range of original instrumental compositions and classical interpretations to produce a deeply intimate collection of moving, atmospheric, and stunningly beautiful music.
Well, I look forward to hearing that. I never heard the original release, so that sounds like something very interesting to check out. And via loudersound.com, we have learned today that King Crimson are reissuing a couple of their early albums as well. And The Wake of Poseidon and Lizard will be reissued on CD and 200-gram vinyl on October 24th. The CDs will be 2 disc sets featuring CD and Blu-ray and will feature completely new mixes of the album in Dolby Atmos 5.1, DTS HDMA, surrounded in high-res stereo by Steven Wilson, new elemental mixes of 4 of the tracks in high-res stereo by David Singleton. Devil's Triangle, a track on In the Wake of Poseidon, will not be featured in the new mixes, but there will be an alternative version assembled for the now unavailable Sailor's Tales box set, and the CD will feature new elemental mixes of 4 of the tracks in high-res stereo by David Singleton. plus 2 additional versions of Cadence and Cascade. That was a lot of crazy words in there.
Here's a reminder of what's coming up
Yes,
soon on
very
Drum
exciting
Talk
news
TV.
coming from King Citizen.
Soon.
All right, join us for our next game show on Tuesday, August 5th at 6 p.m. Pacific for trivia about bands with horns. RSVP on our website, drumtalktvbrilliance.com, or on Facebook.
And don't forget, submit your videos to any of the 3 challenges this month by August 31st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific for a chance to win a gift certificate and an interview spot on Drum Talk TV.
And again, please remember to use the discount code in all caps and one word, DTTVB KenFree6 when you sign up for a premium membership at drumtalktvbrilliance.com before it expires on Sunday, August 10th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this lovely Friday, and thank you, Ken Mary, for joining me today.
Well, thank you, Shylee. It was great talking with you, and you have a fantastic weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.